Alright, so here we are to make with the December bargain bead box for a third time. So, hi everyone, this is Clover and Crown, and we're just gonna put some stuff on the mat here and see what we're gonna make today. Go ahead and put the bead cap on closest to the ball pin, and then go ahead and put the spacer bead into that. All right, and then let's see. I'm sure there's many ways I could probably put this together. I'm gonna go ahead and put that on here. And I'm gonna bend that up. Because really the main purpose of that ball is to just hold that on there. And I think I bent it. There we go. It's a little bit, it needs finagled, especially because this wire is so thin. So this is where the post is gonna go, is right here. So what I'm gonna do is I'm actually gonna drop this down here, and I'm gonna hold it tight with my fingers, and I'm just gonna wrap around this top post. And you can use pliers if you want. If you're following with me, you can go ahead and use pliers to get that tight little loop. I'm just kind of gonna try to wrap it as tight as I can around that post. I might have to use, we'll see if my hands will hold out. I have really, really bad arthritis. I'm only in my 30s, but it hurts. A lot of stuff like this. Probably because I've kind of spent my whole life doing intricate things like this. I just haven't held up well. Alright, so that is attached. I can probably, I want to end it on the back side though, so I'm just going to pull it around, and then it's pretty tight. So I have a little bit better wire cutters. I'm not sure if I've repeated myself, I'm sorry, but I might have deleted the footage of me saying that someone told me Amazon has good Xyron pliers for about 15 bucks. So I've been Christmas shopping, so I'm not purchasing anything for myself right now, but I am definitely tossing around the idea of getting those. In a perfect world, I'd eventually get some wubbers or a matching set maybe of some nice pliers. For now, I have like a mismatched set, so I'm deciding whether to replace one at a time or not, or to get myself a nice set as I move on. So here is the Snowflake. Well, usually it shows up well on my skin, but okay. So this is the Snowflake component, and then I'm gonna go ahead and make the other one real quick. So this one just rotates the opposite way. It must just depend on how tight you do it. All right. Sorry. So this is just something I've never made before, so I'm just kind of experimenting, and that's what jewelry making is just a little bit of experimenting. All right, so now what I'm going to do is I'm going to use the E6000. And this stuff comes out really quickly. I'm just going to use a little piece of wire. Usually, yep, I always have little tidbits laying around. I try to keep the wire out of the vacuum cleaner when I can, so I just keep them all in this little. Actually, I usually use a bucket and just have a little mini trash can with me. All right, so I'm not gonna worry about that. Our earrings, and they've had some time to sit, and so there they are. Oh, and I don't know if they haven't had enough time to sit, but so far the E6000 is holding a lot better than the other one, so I'll let them sit longer. But they've probably sat for a good over an hour, I think, maybe even more. So they've sat for a long time though, and this is how they look. So that is just a little pair of earrings. I think to go with it, I'm feeling these I don't know what they're called. They're like geometrically shaped though. I'd have to look at the list, and it's getting a little dark, so I might wait until tomorrow to record more, but I think right now I'm planning to go with these and some of the snowflakes. All right, it's much nicer now, and we have our earrings done, which are snowflakes. It's the next day. I feel awake and ready to do some crafting real quick. So sorry for my nails. I was doing clay last night and playing around with some acrylic paint, so they get worse by the day. All right, so these are attached. I do like the way they turned out. They're not spinning, but I think that with some creativity, I could probably have made them movable. So yep, they're attached. These do spin just a little bit, but I'm not gonna mess with them because it's just glue. All right, so those are pretty. Those are done. And then this is where I left off, was wanting to do a bracelet with a snowflake charm. So I really dove into these snowflakes. I really like these geometric shaped beads. And what I think I might want to do is do just like a simple, I'm thinking maybe a stretch bracelet. I think I take it back. I think I'm going to do a wire wrap bracelet with these. Yeah, I think, okay, I think I know what I'm going to do. I think I'm going to actually do a feature bracelet using these star-shaped spacers, because I do want this to go along with these earrings. I think that's what I love about this box, is that you can literally make many different sets, and if you stick to just the components, especially with just a few add-ins, usually all of the things can be interchangeable, and you can kind of decide what set you want to wear with like together. So you can mix and match your sets, which is just really versatile. It's kind of like going, and it reminds me of going to school, like going school shopping when I was younger. And my mom would like take us to Kmart, and we would get several different outfits And we always try to get things that you could mix together. And I know people today do that too, where you can kind of mix the different ones, outfits together and mix and match. And I know Target sells children's clothes like that. So what I'm doing right now is I'm just adding little sections that I know I'm going to want in my bangle bracelet. I'm going to do a wired wrapped bracelet, and what I want to do is I want to just showcase the beads on their own. I think that some sections I'll use those bead caps. Some I'll use the star-shaped spacers. Like here, I think between the sections I'll use the star-shaped spacers. And then I think what I'm going to do is, usually I don't do like a wire wrapped bracelet until the end, and I have some, like a lot of times I'll do the wire wrapped. Ooh, see, I love these matte beads, but a lot of times I wait to see what I have. But I honestly think that I just want to jump right in, and I know I want to use these different components, but a lot of times I just do it with leftovers, but I don't want to just use leftovers today. I want to intentionally make this wire wrapped bracelet. So I'm gonna add some stars in different places. So obviously this is not how it's going to lay, but I'll have several different loops. So I'm just kind of setting my sections up now. I really love these so much, these fancy spacer beads. They just have weight and they're so pretty. So I definitely am going to have them in there too. I think I'm going to put those with these matte guys because they have like this sparkle and these matte beads do not. I might put in another section. Yeah, I'm going to take these out and I think I'm going to do another section of the matte beads. Yep. So those are so pretty. I like that one because it has a lot of white in it. Do you guys, is it normal? I should never ask this question. Is it normal though? Do you have like specific, like even though you buy a strand of beads, like a specific favorite bead? I'm going to show you my other bead tray while I'm asking that question because I make handmade beads. So this tray is very messy, but this is also what I've been working on. So let me know if you would like to see me make some of this. But these are my handmade beads and these are going to get strung up later. And I have specific favorites of my handmade beads too. Like even just the pair, like a pair. And when I go to drill holes, I decide which side I like the best. I think that's normal. All right, so that is just my side project. All right. I'm gonna get some wire out next. All right, so I have this stainless kind of darker color wire, but I also believe I have somewhere I have more of a white tone, and that's what I'm gonna use. So I also have some silver memory wire, but this is what I'm gonna use today because I have plenty of it. So this is how, if you haven't used this, I feel like this is really an introductory style of bracelet, but I also rely on it all the time. Even though it's kind of like a very easy, simple thing to do, I also feel like it's versatile because just it really accommodates any style, and you can do 1 length, 2 length. I mean, I sometimes make like big old honkin' bracelets. It just depends on what your personal taste is. So I just need to grab my Even though all of my pliers need replaced, I have a specific one I use to cut the wire off. Although they're more like a garden style. But I have to replace these anyway. So I'm going to use these. So as you can see, both of these are really in not good shape. So these are my two regular wire cutters. They do have memory wire cutters, which I plan on investing in, because you can see these have just gotten damaged over time. These are the newer ones, but they've really not held up well. I don't know how well you can tell, but they're just dinged and dented. I definitely think I'm gonna get some of those Xyron ones. So these also have tips in them. And I think it's just not great quality, but also user malfunction or error. So how many lengths do I want? I know I want 3 at least. So this is how you measure. You just kind of hold it loosely. So I've got 1, 2 full lengths, 3 full lengths. And I like my dangles to be on opposite sides or just like slightly opposite. So I'll probably cut it, I think I'm going to cut it here at 4 because by the time I curl it, then they'll lay like this. So I'm going to go ahead and cut 4 lengths off. So there we go, and just snip it. Again, if you have never used this, please buy, if you can afford it, either cheap, like Dollar Tree style wire cutters from the garden area or from Walmart, or buy yourself the nice memory wire cutters and only use those. So I try to only use the same pair each time. But in the end, it'll save you money. So I'm all about saving money. All right. I don't know that I'm all about it. More like I need to. It's necessary. Okay. So here we go. So I bet I feel like even if I was like a millionaire, I would still go to yard sales, Goodwill, things like that. All right. So we're going to go ahead and start by turning our memory wire away from us, or sorry, toward us. I guess how you make your loop is your choice, but this is how I comfortably do it. Okay. And then I turn it until it meets, and it takes some pressure. So come on now. Oh boy. Hello. All right, fine. We'll do it this way. All right, there we go. Good gravy. All right, so then you make the loop, and then what I do is I turn them. Usually I either turn them in the beginning or end. I think a lot of times I just turn it in the beginning, the first one anyway. But if it helps you to remember to do them at the same time, you can do it that way too. So you kind of got to get a grip on one side. So I've got that loop kind of hidden in there. Well, the other ones still without denting them, I should use these. And you're just going to try to bend this loop away. And memory wire is pretty forgiving, but because it's very strong. Okay, so but you want to bend this so that it is, nope. Ugh, if I was just a little stronger. So you're going to bend it. I think this is the worst one I've ever made. But you want to bend it like down so that when it's laying on your arm, I'll go ahead and put it on. You want it to be against your skin the right way. And depending on your arm size, the other thing is this will stretch and accommodate your arm, your hand over time. But also maintain its shape. And it's great because no matter what size you are, This is a great gift. So we're heading into Christmas. Memory wire bracelets are great because they will fit anybody. They will. They'll just wrap around. And even if the dimension is slightly bigger than this, they do stretch to accommodate. So great gift idea. Simple, easy, and you can literally match anybody's taste. So I'm just kind of using my nylon pliers. There. All right, so now what we're going to do is we're going to start threading beads on. And what I want is I'm going to get some seed beads. And actually, I think I will use silver because I was saying I wanted more silver. So these are really small though. I think these are 11 O's. Perhaps 15 O's. Let's see. So much like a slinky, these links sometimes you've got to jostle them back to where you had them. All right, so let's see. They should fit. Yeah, I think they will. Yep. Okay, so I'm gonna just start beading away here. I like to start with the smallest, so I'll do these, and then I'll do these, the lapis lazulis that came, and I'm just gonna put a few of them on. So there is no pattern that I'm going for. I'm gonna just do chunks, and between the chunks, I think I'm gonna do these silver beads. So go ahead and relax, get a drink, a tea, whatever your beverage is, and I'm gonna go ahead and thread my beads on in different component chunks. So here we go. So I was happy with where it was because I want my tassels to hang on either side of the bracelet. So that helped me kind of decide to stop it now, because by the time I make my loop, they'll be kind of lining up in a way that I thought would be nice. So here it is all pushed together. So again, it'll depend on how it stretches on your wrist, but I thought they would be mostly on opposite sides. The only thing that I don't like is when they're slightly off. So I try to make them exactly away from each other, or, you know, 3/4 or on opposing sides. That's just my preference, but really you can start or end the bracelet anywhere you want. It could be 1, 2, 3. Like I said, originally I thought I would do more coils, but I think it's really pretty. So I'm sliding all of my beads down. I only had trouble with one of these clear stars. The first clear star, it broke off a little piece, and I don't know, I think it was just a little piece inside, and then it struggled to go on the wire, which you'll find that with specific beads. Sometimes we'll just, like glass beads, you can't really bead ream them they are what they are, but with a little bit of like slow working, it fixed. I did try to wash more of that acrylic paint off, but it's really kind of discolored my nail for now, which I actually need to take off. A weekend is coming soon, which means I'll have more time, and I want to take off my dip polish and be done with that because it looks pretty crappy right now. All right, so let's see. That's actually more than I need still, because I'm pushing and making sure that everything is nice and scrunched down. So really, I'm gonna snip just a little more. Let's see what I did. I didn't do that big of one down here. Also, if you don't like the shape of your, like I saw my circle and I didn't really like this bottom circle, so I kind of am fixing it with these pliers. And I've made myself a hassle. But squeeze that back down. This is real life, man. These things happen to everybody, I'm positive. So I'm holding one side, trying not to lose my beads, and on the other side, oh, I don't have a bead buddy, but that's something I could have used, is I could put a bead buddy on there if I had one, but I don't have one. All right, so I'm gonna make a larger loop here. I feel like it's not cutting anything off, but that is just about the right size. And then I'm already putting an angle in it a little bit. That is nice and tight. And so you can see this one will lay against my skin this way. And then we want to do the same thing with the other one. Now, I'm gonna open this up just a little bit so that these can scooch a little more to let the bottom ones come back and be part of the crowd. So, I have to make a decision now on whether or not I want, just use manpower, whether or not I would like for my dangles, where's that other one? This one, the dangles are going to come off this way. Now, this one, which I'm going to reshape a little bit, right now, it's going to lay, here, I'll put it on. With them going that way. So if this is the top of my bracelet, and it depends, because it can be worn either way, I'll have dangles that way, and then these dangles would go down towards my thumb. Or I could flip it and try to get the dangles to lay more this way. So I think I'm going to leave it the way it is. But just so you know, that how your loops are shaped is going to determine how everything lays. I'm on my lunch break again, and it feels like every time I try to rush a project, I end up making way more work for myself because I'm trying to go too fast. And then this is how it ends up, is I spend more time fixing things than making things. So, but I do believe that even if you only have a half hour to do something that gives you joy, especially this year and going forward for me, I think finding that thing that makes you happy and making sure you make time for it is honestly like a preventative measure. So when we get worn out, worn down, we get depressed, we get sick, and just generally we're not as nice to be around. So taking the time or making the time to do what you like is really important. So I'm learning that lesson for my own self. So taking the time, being patient. I'm trying not to be frustrated because I'm not doing this as something that should be pressure. it should be fun. So, sorry, maybe too much PBS as a child or something. Sorry, I kind of went on a rant there for a minute. All right, so I'm gonna bend these. This guy needs to go that way. This guy, yeah, I was wearing it the other way before, I think. So they just need bent flat to your skin, and you just decide which way do you want the dangles to go. Do you want them to go towards your thumb, or and one this way, or both up? I'm gonna do both of mine that way. So they're pretty much in position now. They just need a little bit of love. The beads aren't falling off. Nothing's getting squished. We're in much better shape now. We are ready to move on. All right. All right, so now we get to make our tassel. So I have a few, well, they're on gold, so I'm not going to use those because I have a few from the other day. But I definitely want to use a blue silver. I want to use stars. Do I want a star on each one of them? I want a big star, and then I'm going to do a little star. That would go well with this that I made the other day, actually. So I don't think I'm going to use one of those. But I am going to use one of these deep blue beads. And maybe one of those. I don't know. They might be too big for my liking. So I'm making two separate tassels. One can be smaller and one can be larger. The reason for that is because one is, I don't want either one of them getting in the way. So I'm going to do that and that, I think. And then I will put a couple silver beads here. I know they're so tiny. Ooh, you know what? I'll use those head pins too. So, here we go. Ooh, maybe I should use a matte bead. I really love these. These are so pretty. You know what? I think I'm going to do all round shape on this one. Even though that's a rondelle, it's a round shape. And then I think I'm going to do stars on the other one, but I don't love that. What do you guys think? I feel like I'm not in love or convinced. Ooh. This one's smaller. I like this more. I think I like that. Okay, that I like. Now I need to decide what to do with this. So let's go ahead and put this on, because I know I like it. All right. Hopefully it fits on my head pen with a loop. These are very dainty. They came in the bargain bead box. They're very thin wire. And one more. Okay. Great. So then, carefully, I'm going to bend this away. And then I'm going to curl it back up. And I'm going to leave a little spot first before I close it all the way in. So these red pliers are great for these smaller loops. You kind of shape it as I go here, because I know that, okay, I have to leave a gap because I have to attach it. I'm going to stick it on right here. And then I'm actually gonna, I think there will be room, yes, to finish it while it's attached. Looks good to me. I'm going to very carefully, do not squish these head pins because they're very, see, they're very dainty. So just wiggle it down until it touches. Okay. Pretty. All right, and then I want to add one to the other side. I think to the other side, let me try it on. I love the feel of these. Like the sound they make, I think they're just fun. I like these kind of bracelets so much. All right, so then here, I'm going to just leave, I think mostly just one bauble. So I'll wear it as I'm making it. All right, so this already has a silver ball on the end. So what I may do, is put the small lapis lazuli. I think it's just a faceted rondelle, but very small size. Then I could use 2 bead caps, which were sent, the star-shaped bead caps. Sorry, I'm dropping things. All right. So 1 lapis lazuli. I hope I say that right. Then a bead cap. Then this beautiful bead, which is just gorgeous and really does encapsulate the whole look. Another bead cap. Let's see. And we're just going to go for a little symmetry, which is why I put on that other silver seed bead. Oh wait, that's not symmetry. I need one more small rondelle. Glad I noticed that. But again, I've said this before, but you can take everything apart. And that's the cool thing, is if you mess up, you either have things for more crafting or you can fix it. It's one or the other. So very rarely is there jewelry that just has to be thrown away. But I have before. Like I got chocolate frosting all over something and it was all disgusting and I threw it away. But later I was like, I should have just cleaned those beads off. But they were plastic, acrylic type beads. So let's see. I just can't seem to snip these the way I want to today, the right length. So, I'm gonna go ahead and bend it first. That'll give me a better idea. Again, don't use the same pliers for wire working and cutting your memory wire unless you are broke and you can't get new ones yet. Be committed to knowing that soon you'll need new ones because it will ruin your pliers. So same thing, I'm just shaping it and then I'm going to attach it. Okay. And then I'm going to finish the loop. I don't know that I've ever wore any jewelry while I've finished it before. But after all I said about getting joy out of your work, why not? There she is. So it's a little wonky. I'm going to go ahead and fix it real quick. Flatten it. There. All right. So this is what I've made. I'm going to go ahead and just show it to you slowly. Okay, and then I will put it on the other way so you can kind of see it with the baubles the opposite way, sorry. All right. I think that's a very pretty bracelet and will look good with those star or snowflake earrings. I'm gonna go ahead and make a second pair of earrings now that I'm inspired. So we've got these two, and then I have double pierced ears, like I said. So I'm going to make a second pair of earrings that are gonna go alongside this, and I'm gonna use those beautiful matte matte round beads. So I love these. I love those blue and silvers. So I'm gonna use these. Okay. And I'm thinking, you know what? I think I want to mimic like this shape, but reverse it. So because this has like a small element and then a large element, I'm gonna go ahead and flip it and do a large to small. And then I'm going to add a very small bead at the bottom. Like that. And I'm going to put them on these head pins. So here we go. I think these will look pretty. I'm tempted to do some wire working around them. Alright, so I'm thinking about whether or not I want to leave these like just this triple drop, this graduated drop. But honestly, I feel like that's not enough length for me. So what I am doing instead, I believe, is I'm going to make each component a connector. With this tiny one being the bottom connector. So that's what I'm gonna do. I just need a seed bead. There they are. So I'm going to turn this into its own component. I'm gonna use my one-step looper and hope that it will behave. Really, making these videos makes me realize how much I've just been suffering through with kind of half working equipment. But sometimes that's what we do. All right. So this is kind of what I was saying about that one-step looper is sometimes it doesn't even really pay off. Sometimes you still have to manipulate it so much that it just makes sense to do it yourself, but could be rounder. Okay, and then put in the drop. And then cinch that bad boy up. And I'm gonna do that. Okay. Then we're putting on our blue and silver bead. Okay, sorry for the dirty nails. Every time I look in the screen, I'm like, ugh, nobody wants to see that. But I'm sorry. All right. And I'm gonna use my finger to decide how much to cut off. Oh, I should have bent it first. That's okay. Put a little bend in there. I'm being careful not to break that bead. And I'm gonna bend it back. And I'm not gonna close it in all the way because I'm gonna put on the matte bead. Okay, so this matte bead means the same thing, a double connector, because, let's see if I can use this one. And, oof. The big bead needs a connector also, because, a double side, because it's gonna connect to the jump ring, or to the earring wire. All right, so snip off into that headband. Okay, and 1, 2. Okay, and I'm gonna close this all the way. I don't know why I did that first. I'm gonna close this one all the way because I've already got that open loop on the stems that I've already started. So this is like a 4-in-1 tool from a big box store, and like a craft store, and I really like this tool for the circle shape, the strength of it. I really like it. I don't really use any of the other functions too much, but I do like the circles that it makes. Pretty consistent. I think I have 2, and I think my other one's also in rough shape. So now I'm going to put on the matte bead, and then I'm gonna turn this away. So when I do this, I'll probably go the opposite direction, so I'll want my kink to go that way. So I'm going to, holding on down here, gonna bend it away. Okay. I want about 1, 2. Yep, that's about right. So just trim that down. And then gonna loop it back. Oop. A little bit wider loop than I thought I was gonna make. It's okay, I'll just be consistent because it's graduated in size, so I think it'll be okay. I'm not convinced that I like the shape of that, so I'm just gonna work at it a little bit to make sure it's really nice and rounded. Just using what I have, so I'm gonna go down 1 and 2 and bend away. I'm gonna bend back toward me. This is the bottom loop, so I don't want it to be ginormous like that top loop. The top loop, I'm fine with it being big because my loops are growing with my beads, so I'm comfortable with that, and that's fine. This guy is shored up. He's looking a little wonky, and I'm gonna just fix him. Nothing wrong with a little bit of wonk, though. A little bit of wonk is a good thing. I mean, handmade is good. Okay, so then here we're gonna connect the smaller side to the smaller beads so that both my loops are growing and my beads are growing. So it looks consistent. If I was out of shot at some point, or many points, I'm sorry. I tried to zoom in so you could see more detail, but then it is very hard to watch both the camera and what I'm actually doing. Okay, so let's add earring wires. All right, so here is what I've made throughout the last couple sessions. So here is a wire wrapped bracelet in those blues and silvers with the white stars. And then we made a couple post earrings, which look really pretty. And I have double pierced ears, so I wanted to make sure that I was also going to have a blue set that goes with these post earrings that I can wear at the same time. So for me, a set would be both of those. So here are those blue earrings, which is kind of hard to show dangled earrings flat, but they are very pretty and I like them. They're on kidney wires. So this is what the set looks like so far. I think that no set is complete without a necklace, so I do believe that the necklace will be coming next. So, oh, I'm a little bit low. Sorry about that. Let's scooch. There we go. So, hopefully you guys can see well, and I'll give you some detail. So really bright and shiny and fun. And there are the earrings. So next I will make a necklace. And then you'll get to see it all probably at the same time. But I'm loving the set so far. So I'm going to use this necklace as inspiration, or sorry, this bracelet as inspiration for a necklace, using some of the same components. I'm excited to really use these, and I think I have to resist the urge to hoard these beautiful matte beads because they're just so pretty. All right, so these are, I mean, every element really in the box is so pretty. All right,